welcome back to Reading with Manny. I'm Manny, and today I'm filming the intro for this vlog because, yeah, I didn't film my intro. So as you could see from probably the thumbnail and the title, and that's why you clicked, this is a spoiler-full reading vlog for A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas. I'll put the picture up here. I read on my Kindle. Don't know where my Kindle is. And I don't have much more to say, apart from this is the second book in the ACOTAR series, A Court of Thorns and Roses. I am reading it at the behest of my sister. She's making me read the series so that we can discuss it. I have been discussing it with her. I might put up some screenshots as we go along of my conversations with her because they've been pretty funny. The first book is like Beauty and the Beast retelling. What am I telling you? This is a spoilerful vlog. If you're watching this, you know what this is about. But anyway, Beauty and the Beast retelling. My sister told me the other day that the second book is supposed to be a Hades and Persephone retelling, which makes sense. But yeah. Anyway, I'll hand you over to Past Me to tell you her initial thoughts. Hi, so today is Friday night. I'm about to go to a birthday party, so I wanted to do a quick update because I'm now a third of the book in. And I don't know how I feel about this book. I still find a lot of the things very annoying and weird. Today I was annoyed by the use of the dashes. Like the overuse of the dashes, I should say, because there was a paragraph where there were like 4 of them in like quick succession. Like, why? Or the ellipses. The ellipses are also overused. But anyway, my sister pointed out to me that characters flick an invisible speck of dust or of dirt or whatever from their clothes a lot, and now I'm dedicated to finding them all. So far 3 times in the first third of the book. So yes, now I can't unsee it. Thanks, sis. But yes, I'm kind of intrigued about all the backstory we are getting. It does feel a little bit info dumpy, but I'm usually fine with that in a fantasy. Like, I don't really mind it, especially if it's interesting. So far, it's like, okay, yeah. I don't know how I feel about the characters. I'm still very annoyed by all of them. I don't know. I can't get into it. I can't get into these characters. I don't know what it is. But yeah, I'm still having fun reading it because, yeah, but yeah, I don't even know what to say. Still not sure how I feel about the whole switching love interest thing. And also, I appreciate what the author was trying to do in like showing the trauma that the characters went through and how they're dealing with it. But I don't know how many times Fair has to say that she broke, like when she had to kill those fays. Like, yes, we get it. Like, how many times are you going to say Amarantha broke me? And like, yes, we know. Like, we're inside your head. I don't know. It felt a bit repetitive and excessive at times. But yeah. Anyway, I think I'm gonna go now. Maybe read a bit more before I have to go. So, talk to you later. Okay, so I have 20% left of the book. Like, I'm on part 3. And I am so irritated by Farah. Like, so irritated. I don't know what's wrong with me, but oh my god. Like, I mentioned before how it's very difficult to be in this girl's head all the time. There are some decisions that she makes. Like, now she's angry at Riz for not telling her that they were mated. Like, at what point did you expect him to tell you, girl? Like, I don't know. I don't know. maybe it's just me. And yeah, I don't know what else to say at this point. This book is way too long. It has no business being this long. Like, why? Why? It's a mess. So many things happened, and none of it, like, really. I don't know. Probably a lot of things will happen now in this last 20% of the book, which is still it's still way too long. Anyway, it's like so many training scenes. Were those all necessary? I don't know. And at the same time, like, there's a lot of training scenes, but at the same time it feels like she's mastered all her powers, like, very quickly. I don't know. Maybe it's just me that I'm completely nitpicking at this point, but yeah. I was talking to my sister today, and she was surprised at the fact that I'm enjoying this book less than I did Akotar, like the first one. I don't know, we'll see once I finish how I feel about it, but right now it's not faring well. Hopefully the third one will be better, because this for me has been a mess. Anyway, I'm gonna go to bed now. Okay, so I just wanted to give a quick update because I'm finishing this book tonight. I have 15% left, and I am doing it tonight because I need to finish this book. It's driving me crazy. I don't even know. I just got to the part where Feyre and Rhys are finally mated, and I have to say, they were kind of cute. But everything that happened before, I just, I don't understand Feyre. I don't. I mean, I do, but it's just so difficult. And I have a problem. I think I said, like, in my last vlog, like with the first book, that I knew what was going to happen between Feyre and Rhys, and that I didn't think that the start of the relationship was a good basis for the relationship. And I just have a problem with the retconning. Like, everything that Rhys did in that first book was just awful. And he had his reasons, but I don't know. I just don't, I feel iffy about it. I don't know. Anyway, apart from that, yeah, Feyre continues to discover new powers. Now she glows. I'm sorry. I don't know. Yeah. And the other thing that really irked me, and I just texted my sister about, is like, what on earth is a male smile? What is that? It happened twice already. Like, the first time I let it go because it was an ambiguous sentence, but this one, what is a male smile? What is the? She wrote this thing. I'm sorry. I'm gonna calm down. Thank you, microwave. I'm going to eat my food. I have some gnocchi to eat, and I'm gonna finish this book. So yeah, wish me luck, I guess. I'll let you know my thoughts when I finish it. I finished the book. I am very tired. I do not know anything anymore. I gave it 3 stars, but it's more like 2.5 maybe, because there were many things that I hated about this book that I still can't believe. And I have more thoughts on like the whole book as a whole, because there are some tropes in this that I just can't condone, let's say. But I will have to talk about those tomorrow because I need to go to bed. But let me just say, although this book is very long and the ending took a long time coming, I thought it was at least better, I think, than the ending of Akotar. Like, at least it makes more sense and there's no ridiculous riddle for her to solve at the last moment with her last breath. Anyway, so yeah, and it adds a bit more interest to the thing, like Feyre being now a spy in the Spring Court. Like, sure, yeah. I do think it was a lot happening with like the sisters also becoming Fae now, and like Lucian being one of the sisters' mates, and like, okay, sure, yeah, whatever. And the king seems absolutely ridiculous, but you know, whatever. I don't know at this point. But yeah, I still can't get over the whole Tamlin Rhys thing. But I will have to talk about more. But I will have to talk about that. But I'll have to talk about that tomorrow because it's way too long to get into that. To get into it now, but nope. Anyway, I'm off to bed. Okay, so it's the next day, and I'm gonna wrap up this vlog here with my final thoughts on A Court of Mist and Fury. I still think that this book was a mess. Like, it's way too long. Like, it didn't have to be this long. There were many scenes which felt, I don't know, superfluous. There was a lot of going to this place, getting one thing, and then returning with it, and then a lot of waiting for something to happen, and with training in the middle, and the interminable will they, won't they between Rhys and Feyre, and yeah, I don't know. The ending seemed a bit better than Akotar. In Akotar, I was just ready for it to end, and then there was so much more. And I just, ultimately, I did not really, like, appreciate the ending a lot. Like, yeah. I don't even remember if I said it, but the riddle from the first book, I thought it was ridiculous. It was ridiculous that Amarantha even offered it as a possibility. And then for her to get it at the end, and like the answer was love, which of course I guessed right as soon as I read that riddle. Anyway, this ending seemed a bit better, even though I do think that it was very obvious that it was a trap. Like, anyway. And the King of Hybern seems like he seems like a caricature of a villain. I just don't even know. He has all this power and he's just been sitting on it for like, how long did they say that the war was? Like 500 years? He's been sitting like for 500 years waiting to get the cauldron. Did it take him 500 years to get the cauldron? I don't even know. But at this point I'm just nitpicking because, yeah, otherwise it wouldn't be a story, I guess. But I don't know, certain things just don't make sense to me. Anyway, I do think a lot of the things were very convenient. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not that mad about it. What I'm mad about is, and I know I'm not the first person to go over this, but I'll go over it just very quickly. The destruction of Tamlin's character and the rewriting of Rhys's actions, I can't condone that, I guess. There may have been hints that Tamlin was a bit overprotective, but it seems to me that a lot of the things that Tamlin did could have been avoided if Feyre and him had actually talked about their PTSD. Like, so I don't know. It just felt like a lot. Like, Tamlin got very controlling and kind of abusive, like from 0 to 60. Like, yeah, I don't know. And then that would have been fine, I guess. But then the whole Rhys thing, I think I said this yesterday when I finished it, that I didn't think that this was a good start for their relationship, knowing what was going to happen, because I did know what was going to happen between them. And like all his reasonings for doing the things that he did to her under the mountain and before and whatever, they're questionable at best. And Feyre just eats it up like this is the most romantic thing. Like, he was my mate all along and whatever. The word mate. I don't know how many times she says the word mate by the end. It's like, we get it. You're mates. And that's the other thing that I just don't. It's also very convenient that now Rhys is her mate, and so all the overprotectiveness and all the jealousy and whatever is justified because they're mates, and Rhys can't help himself because there's this savage animalistic part from like primitive whatever. And so it's bad when Tamlin does it, which of course it is, but it's excusable when Rhys does it and has a full-on fight with his best friend because he just looked at Feyre. Like, what is that? Why did that have to be included in the lore? Like, what does that bring? It's not romantic. I would personally hate it if anyone fought anyone else over me. Like, no. I don't get why that had to be included. It's not romantic. It's not something to aspire to as a woman. And, you know, this is written for young adults, technically, although there's way too many sex scenes. What do you think you're doing? There's way too many sex scenes for this to be completely young adult. I don't know at what point they do the transition over to new adult, or if this was new adult from the beginning. I don't even know. But yeah, on the sex scene. I've read a lot of fanfiction in my life, a lot of like smutty fanfiction. So I just read, you know, smut scenes with like a straight face at this point. But I was cringing. Like, what the hell? Why does the phrase apex of my thighs has ever been written? Like, why was that a thing? I don't know. The mountains trembled or whatever it said. He roared? Rhys roared when he... No. Come on. That's the other thing. Why? Why do they roar and purr and snarl like all the time? Their choices were made that I can't. Yeah. But apart from all of that, I did enjoy the side characters mostly, like Cassian and Asriel and Mor and Amren. I like them, especially Amren. I think that she's possibly a fascinating character. We'll have to see how, you know, if we ever get the actual backstory, because that's one part that I actually know nothing about. I enjoyed them, although, I mean, I know that it's all, like, the life at the Night Court is very harsh and whatever, and the Illyrians with their customs and whatever, but every single one of them just had a sob story for a past, for a background, and hearing about it, like, told through a monologue just felt very tedious, and I felt like there was no... I couldn't emotionally connect to what happened to them in the past, especially because when they tell the story like, oh, of course, it was like 500 years ago, like, maybe they're over it by now, or like, at least they act like, well, it's in the past and now I have Rhys and like whatever. I couldn't really feel much for the characters, but they were a nice relief from the mess that was Feyre and Rhys, for me at least. I don't know. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Oh no, Feyre herself. I like the way that she kind of works through her PTSD and grief and guilt and all of those things. Although it was very repetitive and kind of frustrating to be always inside her mind, like I said before. But I I also think a lot of it was tied to Reese and like the comparison between Tamlin and Reese, and like every time Reese did something good, it was like, ah, but Tamlin like gave me paints when I can't paint anymore. You didn't tell him that. Or like Reese is letting me go anywhere I want and like do whatever I want, and I always have a choice, and Tamlin didn't let me do that. Or Reese wants me to share a bedroom with him and like move in with him and whatever, and Tamlin kept his own rooms. Like, girl, if those were things that bothered you, especially the room thing, like, why didn't you talk to him? Like, he was supposed to be the love of your life. I don't know. I have a lot of thoughts on those, the love triangle thing. I don't know. So yeah, I have an issue with Reese becoming too perfect. Like, he does everything well and he's the most powerful High Lord, but also he couldn't keep his city from being attacked. Like, is he the most powerful? Like, why make him the most powerful whatever? It's not interesting if there's no foil to it, I guess. And then when there is a foil, like, it doesn't make sense because he's supposed to be, I don't know. And Feyre now is like the most powerful, unique person, Fae, whatever, in the whole of Prythian. And it just annoys me a little bit because I mean, she struggles a bit at the beginning with all her powers, but then she just uses them, and that's great, I guess. But I don't know, it's just, again, I'm nitpicking. It's not that interesting to me to read about, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have, I think. So yeah, I ended up giving it 3 stars on Goodreads, but I am, now I'm thinking about it, because I think yesterday I said it was like 2.5, rounded up to 3. But I think most of it was just my experience of like still enjoying reading the book, even though I was rolling my eyes a lot and texting my sister in an outrage at certain things that happened. But I might have to lower it to a 2. I don't know. Well, I'll have to think about it a bit more. But anyway, that's it for me. I'm going to wrap up this vlog and then film an intro for this because I didn't film an intro for this, so I'm gonna film it right now. Anyway, I hope that you enjoyed the video. Let me know if you have read this book or this series and what you thought of it. I will be picking up the 3rd book next month, probably. I'm kind of scared because I know it's even longer than this one, so I don't know. But hopefully I'm pretty sure that things kind of resolve themselves, because the 4th book, which is like a novella, is like a bit lighter in tone, I think. And then we have the 5th book, which is from, Nessa's point of view, which I'm actually now kind of intrigued, but it's also a freaking tome, so I don't know what's gonna happen with that. Anyway, like I said, if you have read this book, let me know what you thought of it so we can discuss it in the comments. Sis, if you're watching, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I didn't like this as much as you did, but it was still fun. And yeah, leave a like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you haven't already and if you want to, so you can see what else I get up to in the month. I'm probably filming a horror vlog this week, because I am starting a couple of horror books for spooky season, even though it's spring here, finally. It feels very weird to be reading, those seasonal books where, in a country that is in the southern hemisphere, we are in spring and we don't really celebrate Halloween. It's not part of our culture. We just imported it from America. But anyway, again, I'm gonna stop rambling. I'm gonna let you go. I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Happy reading.